moving on to the pay-per-view that came up the following Dizzy.
UFC213.
That's right. This is obviously all from Las Vegas, Nevada. This one was supposed to be headlined by Amanda Nunes versus Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Right?
And then
Nunes made weight. Then I think she went to the doctor and then went to sleep. Next morning, texted Dana, I'm probably not going to make the fight. From what Dana said, she was medically cleared. The doctors, it wasn't a hydration issue.
She released a statement about it.
Dana White kind of worded it in a way where it's like, she was perfectly fine. She just didn't want to fight her, which doesn't make any sense.
I have sinus infections all the time, and I've been dizzy, and I can't fucking breathe. So you want me to fight like that?
Which is interesting to see, like, what he says versus what she says, which what she says makes sense, because to say that she's nervous or scared when she's already beaten her, clearly she lost the last round, she won that fight. She won the title at UFC 200, not nervous at all. She headlined that, by the way, and on short notice headlined that. And then she defended her belt against one of the, for that division, one of the scariest, at least at a time, fighters ever. So it's like headlining this card out of nowhere. It wasn't even out of nowhere.
Oh, it was all mental.
It was like,
Dana,
and she's looked better every fight
Dana's
too.
Literally the Donald Trump of fighting.
Well, they have a very similar truth. Well, it's worded in a way where it's like technically, he's like, she was medically clear. He says
shade on everyone else.
Yeah.
It's
ridiculous. Most people see through it, but So, but I fucking. Sad to not see that fight. It's gonna happen. They're just rescheduling it probably for Toronto.
Months,
I think they said. But the new main event, I'm totally fine with the interim belt for middleweight.
Yeah.
Or middleweight. But let's start off from the.
Started from the bottom now.
Started from the two fights that we didn't make picks for.
Because they weren't even fights when we made this.
Yeah. But we did watch them, and they were all right. They were both late replacement, first debut fights.
Yes.
So it's like out of nowhere, they're like, we need to have 2 more fights. Because they had enough time. They were like 2 weeks out, or I don't know. Just like it was just after we made our picks. Had to have been. But anyway.
James Bogdanovic versus
Trevin Gill.
Don't call me Kevin Gillis.
Yeah.
What can I say?
It was like watching, it's like watching anybody that's green. Like their striking wasn't crisp. It was very like slow punches and very like sloppy.
Trained by Ben Rothwell. He's a tall guy.
Yeah.
And but Trevin just put it on him.
Yeah, he ended up. It was a weird knockout. Like it like he went down and then, or they were already down, right?
They were down,
and he was just landing punches,
and then
because he got
James
Boscovich had
James
to get carried out.
James died.
Yeah, he died in the hospital later. Rest in peace, James. R.I.P. J.
Good on you, Trevin. Don't call me Kevin.
It was whatever. Not super impressive, but it was whatever. It was, I don't know.
They both look very green.
It was like, we'll see them again. If they keep winning, I'll remember their name.
It was like watching a fight outside a bar and being like, that guy can kind of fight.
Yeah. I've seen some of that stuff and like it's fucking just World Star videos. Cody Stamann versus Terrion Ware. Flashware. Stamann, fucking epic takedowns.
Really good takedowns. How many did he get?
Doesn't know how to do anything 8? When he gets somebody down. It's like after the first takedown.
He still landed a lot of strikes.
Sure. After the first takedown, it was like literally he just didn't do anything until he got back up.
He got a little better as it went on.
A little, but barely.
Still, he landed a lot of shots.
Sure, but as far as it just, the only impressive thing with him is his takedowns.
Yeah,
because Ware had nothing. He couldn't do anything with those. He got taken down.
They're both
almost every
fighting
time.
up a weight class from what they usually fight.
Same thing with the last one too. I think
because their last second.
There's a lot in this card that were fighting up a weight, which I'm sure Rogan's super happy about.
Can we change the bottom one?
Yeah. Stamen won it, decision. It was pretty dominant performance again, but overall boring performance. Considering he, like, when he has that kind of takedown and then just not be able to capitalize on anything.
Yeah.
It's disappointing. So next up is Jordan Meehan versus Bilal. Remember the name? Muhammad. And in this one, I picked Muhammad.
Yes, you did.
Because he's a bad mofo.
Has been on a streak, and I was all right with having Meehan. But Muhammad,
I mean, it could have gone the other way for sure.
But it didn't.
Yeah, Meehan kind of started shutting down.
And Muhammad started turning it up.
Yeah.
So good on Muhammad for another win. Slowly making it up the what is he, welterweight? Yeah, welterweight ladder.
Yep.
So good on him.
Long ladder to climb, so
very
it's good.
Tall fucking ladder.
So next up we have the FS1 prelims, or the next fight in the FS1 prelims, which these we finally started to. That was our first pick.
Yeah.
In the fight, but they're out of order from how they had to shuffle the deck because
the main event falling out.
Thiago Santos versus Gerald Meerschaert.
It was a Meerschaert.
And so the first three fights are my pick.
Yeah.
Usually we take turns.
It ends up going. Usually ends
so
up
it started
going
off really nice for me.
Yeah,
I got my first
Santos,
pick.
And he put an ass whooping on Meerschaert.
Santos has been destroying motherfuckers, man.
He's
been destroying
He's got
people.
a variety of religious tattoos that help him.
And the hammer is the new one, which is weird.
He's had the hammer for like 3 fights.
But there's the clips that you see, the highlights of his.
A lot of them are without hammer.
Yeah, hammer is new.
Hammer's
the other
newest.
ones are there.
Yeah.
Hammer is very new and very big on his chest and not very good. It's very much like the Brock Lesnar sword.
The sword, yeah. I think it's better than the sword.
Oh, it is basically.
The sword just looks
like
a
dick. Yeah, it's true. But still, as far as like rudimentary quality of what the item is.
Well, it looks like he has a Star of David on his one shoulder.
Yeah, those are all different, though.
Thor's hammer, which is a Norse mythology. His back has a giant cross on it.
That's the newest. That's the newest one.
Yeah.
Is the giant cross with the octagon behind it and then kind of flaring out with cage.
Jesus,
chain
and
link.
fence.
But yeah, Thiago Santos wins it pretty decisively. He's looking great. Yeah. So moving on to.
So you're up 2-0.
Chad Laprise versus Brian. Don't call me
Chris
Camozzi. Thank you. I was never gonna get that.
I
know. But didn't look great. I mean, neither of these guys looked amazing. Laprise looked like he could barely get in to hit him.
This was a snoozer for me.
Yeah.
Like, Laprise won by TKO, but like most of the fight up till then was like whatever.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even that crazy impressive of a knockout.
Yeah, he caught him late in the third. But it was. I mean, he was winning it, but it was like. Yeah, it was whatever. It was a whatever fight. And I don't think have we seen the other Camozzi yet? It seems like it was his first time.
Chris?
Brian.
Oh, no, I think we've seen him once before. Because I think I was like, is that
getting all in your numbers?
Yeah, he's like, just like, fuck it.
Look at me, not my numbers.
I'm gonna crowd my numbers.
You turn the other way. No, these are my numbers.
He's trying to choke his numbers out.
My numbers are my bitch. They always stand behind me in photos. Travis Brown versus Alexei Olenek. Travis Brown.
Now I picked Olenek because I finally got a pick. Evidently,
you were nervous though.
I was nervous. Travis had to turn it around, and I thought it's do or die. He's got to turn around, and he was one of the best heavyweights on earth.
He looked amazing like 3 years ago.
Yeah. For a minute.
Yeah. Well, he had like a good year. Good year
or two.
But he's
maybe
had
2 or 3 year run.
He had a relationship that brought him to a camp that pretty much destroyed his style. And this is his second time at a different camp or is kind of bringing back kicks and things other than just boxing.
He did kick
And head
some.
movement.
That was fun.
That scared the fuck out of me. I thought I just knocked a drink over because it's cold a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, but and Alexei is like, he's a fucking, what's his name? Anaconda? Cobra?
The boa constrictor.
Boa constrictor. It's the other snake. The other white meat. And that's, that's how he ended up getting it. Kind of a weird side rear naked choke, like a side naked choke in a way.
It was, but I mean, he started beating him up.
Oh, yeah. It was, he rocked him. He rocked him, got it to the ground, and then that's when he was able to. I'm gonna be interested to see what Alexei before he turns fit, like because he's got to do it now. He makes it weirdly interesting, but he's like the what's the Aussie guy that's old as fuck?
Dan Kelly
he just lost, but he's the Dan Kelly of heavyweight.
But he doesn't get hit much either.
No,
and he just smothers people and chokes them to death.
Like, how is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy?
How has he not been in the UFC earlier? What the fuck?
Maybe he's just putting some wins together. Here, let's check it out.
No, that dude has got, like, his record is something like 50 and something.
Well, I'm sure he's got a chunk of losses for if he's got 50.
52-10.
Not bad.
That's real fucking good.
That's not far off from Jesse Taylor's record.
But he lost his to Daniel. He lost to Omielanchuk?
Yeah. I think I remember that one. I think I got knocked it. No, it was a decision.
A majority decision. So
I don't think he was able to get it down. Yeah, I don't remember that fight.
Well, Omielanchuk had great takedown defense against Blades, so
true.
Blades shitty shots. He's been in the UFC for a while, and he beat Crow Cop.
Yeah,
before to get into the UFC. Pretty much.
He came in at 2014, but then he was off all of 2015. Only fought once, and that was his loss.
Yeah.
So he's probably still injured.
No wonder I'm like, who is this new guy? And he's been here for fucking 4 years.
Yeah. But it's hard to remember a guy that hasn't fought in forever. But he's fighting now and he's winning now, and
I gave him my first win of the night. So and I'm not getting skunked.
That was not. Yeah. At least I only the only reason I lost was one pick. The main event fucked me too, but there was only one.
We were right on
pick
every
that
pick.
I got wrong.
Yeah.
And I didn't know a certain detail leading into that fight, which I heard just before the fight about Miller. But whatever, it is what it is. So that was the feature bout for the FS1 prelims. Moving on to the UFC 213 main event. Starting off, Rob Font versus Douglas Silva de Andrade.
Now this went from being the second fight of the entire night, like the headline, the Fight Pass,
to the intro fight.
To the intro fight of the actual pay-per-view.
So that happens when they have to shuffle the deck. Sometimes, and that's where they go. But,
they wanted the Travis Brown fight to be the last on their FS1.
Well, yeah, they still need to have their headlining fights generally, but they're like, what's an exciting fight that we can kind of plug in?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty one-sided fight. De Silva wasn't really able to do a whole lot.
There's a lot of ground scrambles.
He lost, yeah.
It was fun. Caught him in a guillotine, and it was weird. It was kind of off to the side, but he just had it so far in that he had to tap.
Yeah.
Good win for Font. He's
Mm-hmm.
climbing up the ladder.
So moving on to the pick that I may have chosen differently. I don't know. I chose Jim Miller versus Anthony Pettis. And I heard two things. I heard Pettis, now that he's going back up to lightweight, after depleting himself, he's been in the gym more. He's never been a gym guy. He's loving working out. Feels stronger than he's ever felt in his entire life. So a small plus for Anthony Pettis, because who knows how much that's going to help him in a fight. Jim Miller, apparently, potentially, allegedly, is getting over Lyme's disease.
No, yeah, I knew that.
So it's like, I didn't know that going into, like, when we were making the picks, I didn't know that. I found out, like, a day or two before the fight. I heard on a podcast. It was like, oh, well, fuck. But still, it's Jim Miller. It did go to a decision.
Pettis beat the shit out of him.
I know. But
Pettis beat the shit out of him.
yeah,
It was a clinic. Pettis looked good.
Yeah, Pettis looked a lot better. I mean, it's the best he's looked in years.
Yeah.
So
he had a rough,
and he had to get through
patch.
Jim Miller, which is no tough thing. But he wasn't able to finish him. But Miller's not a easy guy to finish. But yeah, this was the only pick that I made that either of us made that was wrong.
So now we're tied up.
Yeah,
It's all of a sudden 3-3.
Yeah.
You were up 3-0. Now it's 3-3.
Moving on to Daniel Omielanchuk, Speak of the Devil, versus Curtis Blades, Speak of the Devil. Fucking Blades.
This fight was boring as fuck.
Blades is in better shape, but still, like, all he tried to do
Was take him down,
was
and it didn't happen.
up on the cage too. So it's like, and not very successful at all.
No.
So he spent that 5 minutes was primarily spent trying to get a takedown up on the fence with zero success. And then Omielanchuk was able to catch him a few times, but his Blades end up winning decision.
Yeah. Whatever. That fight was fucking...
Yeah. It was boring. Moving on to the feature, the co-main event, the new co-main event. Heavyweight, Fabricio Verdum versus Alistair Overeem. I had Verdum.
I picked Overeem.
Even though I need this win,
Would
it
you
was
have
very
picked
difficult.
Verdum?
No way. I was rooting for him in the third round where he's like finally doing something.
Yeah, he came back in the third, but
he rocked him, got him down. But then once he got him to the ground, he really didn't do a whole lot.
Look at total strikes.
Yeah,
and he still lost because Alistair hit him so hard when he hit him.
Yeah, but a lot
But
of those
Alistair
strikes
still got dropped.
Yeah,
where
there was only
Fabricio
one strike he
didn't-
threw
yeah.
that counted.
That
really.
decision could have probably went either way, but I think Alistair did win those other 2 rounds.
Yeah, the only thing I could say was like maybe that third round was a draw. Would make it a draw, which one of the judges did make it a draw. It was a majority decision for Overeem. That would be the only thing because he for sure lost the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
like I think Rogan or one of the commentators was constantly saying like maybe he won
the first round, but
It's
I
like,
don't think so.
Yeah, when I was watching, it's like I don't think he did shit, man. But yeah, so good win for Overeem.
That was a
I
third
don't
fight in
think-
a trilogy, which puts Overeem won the second 2. Verdum
Right.
won the very first.
They were saying potential title eliminator. I don't. That's
Who
like
else
not
is up
impressive. Well, depending on who wins between Ngannou and if Ngannou beats JDS, easy, because I mean JDS just lost the belt. I don't think he would necessarily fight if he wins, unless he destroys Ngannou or something like that.
Yeah.
But I would say Overeem over JDS. But if Ngannou beats JDS, then I'd say throw him up. Ngannou versus Stipe, be amazing.
It would.
But because he's beaten everybody else.
Yeah.
And Derek Lewis, I would have said, but he just lost. So
with that win,
yeah, this is it.
I clinched.
You won it. Yeah. So I just like to save face, which I did have this pick, so I did want to win this one.
Yeah.
So I was still invested in Robert Whittaker beating Yoel Romero, which is the main event, the new main event, which is scheduled to be 5 rounds for interim belt for middleweight. Mikkel Bisping out with a knee injury. Mikkel Bisping. Whittaker, who knows how long he might be out. So who knows? They might schedule, if he's going to be out for a long time, throw Bisping and GSP. If, that's a money fight for them. And
Bisping wants that fight more than anything.
Well, he told GSP that he had till Saturday because he knows that Saturday is, if there's not a fight already booked with GSP, then this is what he's got to do. And he takes fights that are offered to him. He's not a guy that's going to turn down fights for a money fight. So, but if Whittaker's out for a while and Bisping gets healthy, timing's off, kind of you never know. Or they could do a show. They could do Whittaker and Bisping as coaches on Ultimate Fighter. They do that a lot when people are injured, especially if it's a fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at least it's
Bisping's
not like
trying to milk this fucking title run for all it's worth. He's like, I had the title for 3 years. How many times did you defend it?
So
Once.
So how many times did Rockhold defend it? 0.
0, but he also fought soon after.
Rockhold didn't fight. He hasn't fought since he lost the belt.
No, I'm saying soon after he won the title.
So did Bisping, or he accepted the next fight
Dan Henderson.
right after. That's what they offered him. So it's like, people want to be mad at Bisping.
I'm not mad at Bisping.
No, but people
I'm
do.
saying,
People want to talk shit.
But I'm
it's
saying like he.
okay, look at fucking the light heavyweight fucking guy. He's not active at all.
Cormier?
Yeah.
No, he only
It's
fights
like-
John Jones.
and then look at,
Rumble
you know,
Johnson.
Yeah. So it's, fucking whatever. I'm excited to see him fight Whittaker. I'm excited if they do make the GSP fight. It'd be an interesting fight to watch. But Yoel, clearly won the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
And then,
Yoel went
as
out
he
there,
always
and
does,
as he always does, gassed out.
the fuck out, and tried to put it back together in the last round to try and win that last round. But it was
He had a
just...
decent last round, but it still wasn't
he
enough.
did something. He
Yeah.
literally attempted 0 shots in 1 round.
Yeah,
it was
he just wasn't throwing any punches in like the 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, it was his fight to lose. Although, Whittaker was starting to he wasn't able to get him down, or when he wasn't able to keep him down.
Yeah.
And the one time he was down, he wasn't able to do anything with it because he just tied him up.
And
so it's
Whittaker on the very first shot of the fight hurts his knee. And then,
well, Yoel hit his knee and hyperextended it, but I guess
but he had a knee injury.
He also had a knee injury going into it, so it didn't help.
He goes,
that
"It just
knee
put
injury.
me back months."
Yeah, for sure. But he was able to battle through it and didn't really, aside from not being as active as he is on his feet, it didn't seem to. Those front kicks were fucking amazing.
I thought it was clear that Whittaker won the last 3. So did the announcers. Yoel, not so much with us on that. He was a bit.
Yeah, he thought he won the last round. It came down to the last round.
It did.
So, and he did do more in that last round than he did the last 2 rounds before that. But
A little too late sometimes.
God works in mysterious ways, Yoel. You can't be marching around every fucking... that was his first loss, I think, right?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, technically. So good win for Whittaker. I'm glad that I got that last pick and he won it. Makes me feel good.
That you only lost by 1.
Sure, but I also wanted Whittaker to win.
Yeah.
It would have been more of a bummer if I lost this shit and then also Yoel's like, oh, Jesus. Not that I don't mind Yoel, but it's like, come on, man. Your pre-fight workouts are people were jerking off all over the place. Oh my God, he's old and he jumps around and his body's amazing, but he fights exactly the same way every time. Very gaseous.